Hey, how is everybody? All right, so today we have, we've come up with a new name because the school year is almost over. And so it's going to be Sweet Tea Time with Melissa. So, I thought that would be kind of cute. But anyway, so, I don't have any, confessions today. Had a pretty good rest of my day yesterday and, had a pretty good busy day today. But anyway, so no real confessions to give you, but someone did give me a topic to talk about today. So that's what we're going to talk about. So she is going out to eat tonight. Not sure if it's family or business or what, and going to a local popular barbecue restaurant, and it's a buffet. And so she's like, how do I eat there, enjoy myself, stay on track, and stay true to myself? And I am by no means an expert on any of this stuff. But I do know what I try to do to try to keep myself on track. I said something earlier about that I'm just a fat girl trying to get fit. So I'm just going to share with you kind of my tips. So first of all, about 2 years ago, I wrote a blog about going out to eat and making good decisions. So I'm going to share that on this page after, so you can read the old blog. And that has more to do with all restaurants, not just, buffets and all. In fact, one of the tips was to stay away from buffets. But anyway, so today I actually wrote a blog specifically targeted towards barbecue buffets, because hey, we're from the South, and so if you see me looking, I'm looking at my notes. I am definitely your Southern barbecue queen. I grew up on barbecue. I remember from the time I was little, always going to barbecue places around, and going to the local joints with my grandparents, and my grandparents loving the buffets. And so that's something that I've always been exposed to and grew up loving and enjoying, was your traditional barbecue. I grew up with the rice and the hash and the green beans and macaroni and cheese and coleslaw and butter beans and all the goodness. So I'm very, very aware of how good barbecue is. It's so good. But there are some ways to still indulge and still enjoy yourself, but still stay on track. And so I'm just going to give you some tips, and I'm actually just going to hopefully try to kind of remember, and then I'll share the blog that I wrote today so you can read everything. But, of course, when I'm talking to you guys, my mind goes completely blank. Don't you love that? Okay, so first of all, barbecue in and of itself, barbecue pulled pork is not bad. It's not bad at all. It's pork. It's usually from the shoulder. It is a little bit fatty, but we all know that fat is not necessarily that bad for us. Of course, you want to get in your healthy fats, and you don't want to cut all your fat out. So you just want to be careful. Obviously, your worst empty calories are going to come from your sauces, and it's going to depend on what sauce you choose. If you're a girl like me, you like your mustard base, and that is not terrible. Your ketchup based and your new white barbecue sauces, those are going to be your worst, highest calories. Your vinegar based, for all you North Carolina people, is going to be your best, lowest calorie. And then of course, if you can manage to do your barbecue pulled pork with just your dry rub, that's your best bet. So barbecue in and of itself is not bad at all. Hi, Jennifer, you're here. It's nice to see you. This is all for you, and of course anybody else that loves visiting their local barbecue joints. So tip number one, first, of course, read my blog from 2 years ago, which I will share after this so that you can read it. Tip number 2 is obviously most of your local barbecue joints are set up like a buffet, and that in and of itself can set you up for failure, but it doesn't have to. So your first thing you need to do is go to the salad bar. Even if it's not the best salad bar, go to the salad bar. Load up on your fresh vegetables, even your fresh fruits, and that's where you need to start, okay? And then when you choose your dressing for your salad, if you are wanting to choose the creamy variety, you need to put that on the side or use it sparingly. Now, if you can do your oils and vinegars, that's your best bet for your salad dressing. So start there, fill your belly up with those good items first. So that is my second tip. What's my next tip? Okay, so tip number 3 is A, I know this is going to hurt your southern ears, and B, I know that this is sweet tea time, but when you go to your local barbecue joint, don't order sweet tea. You need to get you a big old glass of water or unsweetened tea and sweeten it with your Splenda or something like that. Your water is going to be really good to fill your belly, so you fill it on water and not a bunch of other junk from the buffet. So make sure you do that. Don't drink your calories. The baby's probably going to start crying. I'm just telling you. Let's see. Oh, when it comes to all your meats, you want to look beyond the buffet. You may be able to ask your server, hey, do you have any smoked turkey breast or smoked chicken breast or baked chicken? Any of those things. And of course, you don't want to eat your skin. Get the skin off, okay? If those are not good options and you want some of your fried chicken, you know, of course, you can indulge and splurge in that fried chicken, or get your chicken breast, take the skin off, and just eat the chicken breast meat. There is nothing wrong with splurging. Just watch your calories and watch your portions, you know? And then, of course, you can get things at certain places. You can get things like brisket. You want to be careful of like spare ribs, because those are really fatty. And again, fat's not bad, but we just have to watch the amount, the quantity. Let's see, where else? What else do we have? Be careful with your sauces, dressings, gravies, the hash, all of that stuff, loaded with calories. And things that we don't necessarily need. So you either want to not use them or use them sparingly. Let's see what else. Okay, so this tip is completely personal. This is just me. I'm not big on buffets. The little local place that I go to near my house, I always get takeout. And when I am on the ball being good, this is what I order. I get 1 serving of pulled barbecue pork, just the sauce that they put on it. I don't put on any extra sauce, and I get a side of coleslaw because I love their coleslaw. Now, I know what you're going to say, but coleslaw is dressed, and it's a creamy dressing, and you're right, it is. But A, this particular restaurant does not overdress their coleslaw, and that's why I like it. And B, if I'm going to splurge, I'd rather splurge on some good coleslaw dressing than, you know, something really bad for me. So I like to, when I'm watching those carbs, that's what I like to stick to. Good protein, good vegetables, and really that's it. And so that's a personal thing that I like to do. So let's get back to going to a buffet. Let's talk about your veggies. So we all know Granny, good old Granny, she cooked those vegetables, and she cooked them to death, literally, in your bacon, your lard, your butter, even some sugar. My Granny put sugar in everything, whether it needed it or not. She put sugar in her chicken salad. Now, it was delicious, but like, why would you put sugar in your chicken salad? That's just craziness. But anyway, so when you go to a buffet, the reason those vegetables taste so good is the way they're prepared. Now, that doesn't mean don't eat them. Just be aware of how they are prepared, especially with your portions. So, but make sure you do load up on your veggies. Make sure that your plate, after you leave the buffet, is colorful. Don't let it be all brown or all one color. You want a colorful rainbow on your plate. So make sure you get your greens in, even if they've been smothered in all the goodness. Get your collard greens, get your green beans, get your butter beans or your lima beans, whatever you call them. Great source of fiber. And they have good protein. Now, they do have a lot of carbs in them, but they're good, complex, fibrous carbs. Your corn, your carrots, those are going to have a lot of natural sugars, but again, it is what it is. So load up on your veggies. Let's see. Anything that's bean related, you're going to get a lot of your fiber from. We talked about when you get there to get a salad, start with a salad. Another option is to get you a nice salad and then put your meat choices on top of your salad, and then you are not maybe tempted to eat some of the overcooked items. Then you're eating whatever meat choice you want for your protein on fresh vegetables. And I also found when I have meat on my salad, I actually use less dressing because the season of the meat tends to season all the vegetables. So that's another idea. Another tip is don't ever show up really to anything. Any restaurant, any buffet, or any party starving. Don't save up all day. You don't want to do that, okay? Because that's not practical. You need to eat sensibly and reasonably all day. Drink your water so that when you get to a party or a restaurant or a buffet, you're not famished. Because if you set yourself up famished, you're probably going to fail. Set yourself up for success, no matter where you're going, that you're going to eat. Drink that water through the day. Fill that belly up with good water to flush your system, okay? Another thing is I've been talking a lot about fiber and fiber supplements, and I've been doing my Metamucil fiber drink every morning. I've been trying to do it before 10. In fact, I have a little bit of it here. I didn't finish. I kept refilling it with water. So that fiber drink, that fiber supplement is very filling. So drink you some Metamucil before you go and let that fiber fill you up instead of junk. It's just an idea. Let's see what else. Okay, here are your items to be wary of. It does not mean you cannot have them. It just means you might want to think before you load your plate up. Hush puppies, anything and everything fried, cornbread, biscuits, any unnecessary bread or breading, macaroni and cheese, and I'm going to say this, casseroles. You want to be careful of casseroles unless you made it and you know what's in it, okay? Because we don't know what these restaurants are putting in their casseroles. Now, I make a delicious broccoli casserole, but I don't put a bunch of extra junk in it. It's a great low-carb casserole, but again, you don't know what they're adding. Let's see, pastas, rice, dressing, stuffing, all that stuff you want to be careful of. Of course, your white potatoes. Now, sweet potatoes are good. They're good for you, really good for you. And there's been some research, even as women, how it's good for like leveling out, our cycles and our emotions, which is kind of cool, hormonal things. But we're Southerners, and we top everything with sugar and butter and marshmallows, okay? Yeah, the baby's crying. Anyway, he hates sitting still. He hates the carpool line. So just be careful of those sweet potatoes at a good Southern restaurant. And then lastly, desserts. Well, that's up to you. If you feel like you want something sweet, indulge. Just be careful of your portion and maybe what you choose. Maybe if they have apple cobbler, get you the fruit, but leave some of the crust, or maybe just get a little bit of pudding, or always go for the fresh, undressed fruit. So whatever you can do, do those things. But there is nothing wrong with splurging. There's nothing wrong with indulging. Just account for that later on. And what I mean by later on is, okay, so I'm going to splurge here. So over here, I have to do something a little bit different. And one last thing that was in my older blog is when you're thinking about what you put in your mouth, don't think calories, think miles. What? So a nice, slow, steady jog, you burn about 115 calories in 1 mile. So let's just say your dinner, because most meals eaten in a restaurant, most, not all, average about 1,100 calories in one meal. So how many miles are you going to have to do a slow, steady jog to burn that 1,100 calories? So sometimes for me, I would rather not jog. So I'd rather watch what I put in my mouth. So these are just some tips that I try to follow. I don't always follow. We actually went out to eat last night, and I got some chicken and shrimp, and it was breaded. So with the chicken, I like kind of picked around the breading. I ate some of the breading. I did not eat the French fries that came with it. I ate some of my shrimp. I did eat my salad. So it's not about not ever having these things. It's just about doing things sparingly. And just knowing, okay, I did this, so later on I'm going to have to do this. Okay. It's that whole, there's consequences to everything we do, and will it be good consequences or bad consequences? But the good thing, my good confession for today, and this is how I'll wrap up, is I am already starting to notice my appetite changing in the sense that I'm not eating near as much. So my portion control is finally kicking in. And also when I eat the wrong things, my body is telling me. It's like, whoa, don't do that. So the longer you do this, your body will tell you what you're doing well and what you're not. So anyway, I'm going to share these 2 blogs on this page that you can click on. You can print them. You can go back and read them anytime. Share them on your page. Save them, however you want to do. Of course, the blog's a little more detailed than what we did here, because I do try to keep this short, even though today I feel like I'm just rambling. But anyway, so thank you guys for joining. Jennifer, I hope you have a great dinner tonight, and I hope this little talk helped, and I hope you'll be able to follow some of the tips, and I hope they seem reasonable. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. And if you do decide to go out to eat tonight and splurge, I guess I'll see you at class in the morning. We got a combo strength training water aerobics. It'll be good. Bring a mat. I'll have everything else for you. And yeah, that's about it. Just keep following this page for updates on pop-up classes and other water aerobics classes. So we can't wait to see you tomorrow, and hope you have a great night. Bye.